All right, well, the recording is starting here. We're just going to wait if any more people are joining us. But I want to welcome you to our webinar today. The webinar is called the CPQ for Manufacturing. We're going to have an awesome program for you. We're going to show you Tacton, one of our favorite CPQ solutions. And of course, I'm not by myself, right? I have my team here with me. My name is Martin. I'm the CMO at Sirocco Group. Sirocco Group is a global Tacton reseller and implementation partner. And we also do a lot of other things like CRM and sales automation. And we have close to 100 people by now in 5 countries around the world. So today I have Ras with me, our Chief Advisor for Enterprise Solutions in North America, and Patrick, our product owner, CRM and CPQ expert. So he's going to run our demo later, which I'm really looking forward to. We are recording this session, so for any future reference, you can take a look at this, which also means that if you have any questions, just make sure you don't share anything that you wouldn't want to be public knowledge elsewhere. We do have the option for you to ask questions, right? And I would encourage you to use our chat. So let's see if that works. And then other than that, yeah, should we take it away, gentlemen?
Yes. Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you for the warm introduction, and welcome everyone to this webinar. I will start by saying thank you very much for attending, and we also hope that this will help spur some interest for follow-on discussions. Today, what we're going to be talking about today is CPQ, specifically for automating the sales process in manufacturing. We're going to talk a little bit about the buying journey of customers, of manufacturing customers, the typical trends that we've been seeing in the industry and some of the barriers that you face, and then the whole reason for CPQ. What is it? How does it help? How does it help automate? And then we'll go into a live demonstration, and then we'll close by some Q&A with some follow-up questions. I would also say, please forgive me. I had a little bit of a cold a couple of days ago, so my voice is a little bit scratchy. My apologies. Okay, so let's start by saying, first of all, what is CPQ? Okay, CPQ, configure, price, quote. Now, for any industry, okay, you will want, you're basically selling something to your customers, right? So you want to configure whatever it is that they're going to be buying. It might be a shirt, it might be a tire size, it might be something manufacturing, it might be healthcare, whichever you want. But you're basically configuring a solution for your end users. How can I quickly do that? How can I eliminate issues? Then, of course, based on that configuration, I want to work up a price that is going to be, excuse me, that is going to be respectful of where they are, what tax they might have, if it's crossing border boundaries, all of those different types of things. And then, of course, the official quote that for many purposes is a document that you are in an agreement with the customer, a legal document that is generated so that you can actually create and execute on a quote. So what CPQ is it focuses on these 3 aspects together. Now, the typical capabilities of a CPQ solution, and there are several out there, is basically guided selling through the process. Okay, so if it's a self-service piece through your website, or if it is a sales rep actually meeting with your end customer, okay, being able to guide them through what the solution is going to look like. You go through with the products and services available, any price considerations, if they have discounts, if they're from a different region, if they're part of our customer loyalty program, all those things, going through the appropriate workflows, and then the document generation of the actual quote. Okay, so that being mapped, these are the main stages of any typical buying journey. Okay, so this goes everywhere from identifying the customer needs, guiding them through the process of what's available, what makes best sense for them, what's available. If it's not available, are there other options available for them? Okay, confirming the requirements. Are there any different types of legal sign-offs that need to be done on either end? And then the actual generation of the quote, and then how to make it quick and easy for the end user to make their final buying decision. However, there are several aspects throughout this journey that could limit, if not totally derail, the journey. So these are some of the panes here. I don't need to read through all of these. By the way, these slides will be available and sent to all attendees as well. So if you have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat here or email them to us later. However, getting back to this, these are the areas within the sales process where the things break down. Okay, new sales reps, changing requirements. A specific proposal needs some engineer to get involved because it's not quite the right configuration. Having to go back to the drawing board, and expiration of a product availability or specific pricing. All of these things can complicate this order. So within the actual manufacturing, now let's take this down a step lower. Let's talk specifically about the trends that you see today in manufacturing. We mentioned a few already: variations in price, supply chain changing, okay, equipment as a service. Where do things need to be routed correctly? Okay, especially in manufacturing as well. You have ESG awareness. I might choose to have a different configuration based on carbon emissions. So I might want to change that quote based on those requirements. And then, of course, customer self-service. Okay, 9 times out of 10, customers do their own investigation before they start talking to a sales rep. So what that means is that you want to be able to enable your end users to make their own choices and then potentially even create their own quote. Now, I like this chart because this really kind of solidifies where the major challenges are within manufacturing that the Sirocco Tacton partnership addresses. Being able to shorten the long sales cycles, okay? Being able to have confidence that the quotes that are going out are correct. Making sure that if there are changes in products or offerings or last minute changes in what's available, stock, out of stock items, things like that, to be able to make sure that that quote is going to be valid. And then inefficient staff. That's kind of a harsh word, but let's just say inexperienced staff. Okay, new sales reps coming on board, people from different countries starting to sell into different demographics. Okay, different industries might have different needs or different quoting structures and things like that. So again, what CPQ does is it helps to automate the sales process. It helps to shorten the selling time as well as making sure that you have confidence that those orders are correct. We talked a little bit about these. Patrick is going to talk about these individually, but again, specifically to manufacturing, these are some of the pains that we mentioned already, and I'll let Patrick talk to that before his presentation. So the whole idea here is, as we wrap up, is why am I doing this? Well, without a CPQ automated solution, okay, these numbers drop. Okay, quotes, okay, you get less quotes, okay, don't become orders. There's loss of revenue. Not only that, but you also are weakening your brand, meaning that people don't find you reliable anymore. And then they go on social media and start saying bad things about you or not returning to your page. It's about increasing that customer loyalty, that customer trust, and the timeliness of delivering your solution with the quote. Now, again, implementing a CPQ solution, automating that process increases, okay, the number of good quotes that go out there. Your win rate is now higher because the customers have confidence in what they're getting. They have confidence in you. They have confidence in your brand, okay, and it shortens the sales cycle. As we always say in these presentations, don't take our word for it. The industry analysts agree that more and more companies are moving to CPQ just for these reasons. Okay, being able to handle the complexity of these different solutions that you as manufacturers are putting together, but also being able to get that quote out in a timely manner with confidence that it is correct. So let's talk about Tacton a little bit. So at Sirocco, we focus on CRM and CPQ. One of our partners is Tacton. Tacton has been, over the years, become more and more a leader in the Gartner quadrant in this space. Just recently, last year, 2023, Tacton has been named by Gartner as the #1 seller up in this space. And again, I'm sure everyone on this call is probably familiar with the Gartner quadrant, ability to execute versus completeness of vision. Not only is there a vision that Tacton presents, but also the solution itself allows for the eloquent execution. So with that, I am going to take a pause, hand it back over to Martin. And if there
Yes.
are any questions, we can go from there.
Thank you so much. That was super interesting. And Russ, correct me if I'm wrong, but this Magic Quadrant we will also share with our audience, right? We can put it in the email in the follow-up.
Yes. At the
Perfect.
end, after Patrick's demonstration, we're going to have a list of how can I learn more,
Nice.
and we'll have links in there on where they can download the Gartner report, as
Yeah.
well as where they can actually sign up for further information.
Super. Perfect. Very, very insightful. Thank you so much. If you guys are anything like me, right, I'm also one that learns either by doing or by seeing something in action, which is why we have Patrick here today, and I'm super excited for your demo. Patrick, actually, believe it or not, he came from the user side, right? Which means at some point your previous company evaluated CPQ solutions and ended up with Tacton. And now, of course, you joined Sirocco as one of our lead implementation specialists. So you have experience from both sides, right? The user experience and the implementation. So Patrick, let's show our audience what Tacton looks like in action, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Just gonna share. So hello, everyone. My name is Patrick Lundell, CPQ consultant here at Sirocco. So you just got this fantastic presentation from Erasmus, and I hope I will be able to show some of the things that he has touched upon up in actual practice. So just to give you a little bit of background regarding myself before we start. I previously have 10 years experience from the manufacturing industry, working in sales and sales engineering with sales processes, CRM systems, and so forth. And that's how I discovered the wonderful world of CPQ. So I've seen firsthand the effects Tacton can have in an organization, and not only in the sales process, but also touching on other parts such as product management, purchasing, projects, and services. So today I'm going to show you a demo from partners at Tacton. And in the interest of time, since there would be a lot to cover if we go through everything, I'm going to show you select parts of the CPQ process and highlight some of the unique features you could see with Tacton as your CPQ system, and how Tacton can help with specific issues and pain points that are generally found across manufacturing companies. And some of these might be familiar to some of you. For example, you might have a long sales cycle, so you lose orders to more nimble and cheaper competitors. Tacton can help create precise, fast, and appealing quotes without having to rely on other software departments or silos in your organization that inhibits an efficient sales process. Or maybe you have a problem meeting specific customer needs. Orders shipped that are not 100% what the customer expected or just straight up inaccurate. Tacton can help here also. And if you go back to look at the quotation process as a whole, that looks different at different companies. Some use their CRM system as help. Some have homegrown solutions they develop themselves, and some do everything for Excel sheets. The thing is that many of these solutions require a lot of maintenance. They could be more error prone. They could be hard to integrate and automate with other systems. And take an Excel file, for example. It has to be kept updated. You have to make sure everyone uses the latest version. Make sure people don't just add or change things in it. And all the information from the finished quote needs to be manually entered into a CRM or ERP system. And then you need to save the document somewhere itself that's not in someone's desk drawer. And in all of these steps, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. You sell a solution that does not technically work, or the wrong prices were used, or information in the CRM does not match the actual order that was received. So there could be a lot of administration and work in the background to make sure that the sales process flows smoothly with the least amount of errors. And if any errors do occur, you want to catch them early and not after you ship something to your customer. So I will show you how a CPQ system like Tacton can help with all of this, standardizing your sales process, making it easier to put together a quote, faster, and with less risk of errors. So let's open up our demo. Here I am logged into Tacton. Today I'm a sales representative from a company called Ava CareTech, and they are specialized in selling endoscopes. And this is my dashboard. Here you can see all my leads, my open opportunities, and if I have any approvals I need to take an action on. There's even a little product news section up here in the corner to highlight new products that have just been released for sale. So we're going to put together an offer for a customer. So I'm going to go into the Accounts tab and choose our demo hospital customer. This opens up the account page with all the customer information. And from here, I'm going to create a new opportunity linked to this customer. I'm going to give it a name and click create. This opens up the opportunity. And to this, I'm going to create a solution. And Tacton will ask me for some mandatory information I will need to provide to proceed. So let's give it installation site name. We go for it. It's a US hospital. The installation country should be the USA. The currency, which is United States dollars, and the unit of measurement should be imperial. So I'm going to create my solution. And here is our solutions page. Here we have an overview of all the information regarding the quotation we're putting together. You've got all the pricing data, you've got all the product data we're going to add, and any approvals you need to take care of, and all the documentation such as data sheets, quotation documents, and even CAD drawings, all in one place. So immediately, you don't have to think about where you store your documentation. You don't have to hunt down the latest version of an offer or any product or price data you might need. Everything is right here on this page, connected to opportunity and to the customer account. And all this information on this page and on your opportunity or customer account can also be set up to be retrieved from or be pushed back into a CRM or ERP system with a click of a button. So let's start looking into the C in CPQ. Let's configure our product. I'm going to go to Add Product and open up our product catalog. Here we have a list of our configurable products, our endoscope in this case. But we also have the ability to add some items we don't have to configure, such as spare parts, accessories, or consumables. Let's go back and show off some parts of the product configurator. So if you have a complex product that you sell, I think you will really appreciate this kind of a configurator. What this can help with is that it can take away a lot of the time-consuming work of manually putting together an offer. Finding the correct articles, making sure that it's a solution that works on a technical level, and that it fulfills all the customer needs and any possible regulations. So instead of an endless list of products and article numbers that you have to pour over yourself, Tacton takes you through this process in more of a guided selling approach. By making you answer some questions, tick some boxes, and step by step, it will put together a solution for you that works, based on the parameters that you provided. So in this specific configurator, we have some customer needs. We need to specify first. What's the application for this endoscope? We can say that's going to be for cardiac surgery. And as you can see, Tacton automatically updates our bill of materials for us. So you always know exactly what happens to the solution that is offered based on the last choice you did. Additions in green and subtractions in red. We also get a complete overview of our price breakdown for every article throughout this whole process. Let's go look at the usage section. Another way Tacton can help out is by making sure that you sell the right things. So for example, here we have the United States as a country of usage pre-selected, because this is what I specified when I created this solution earlier. And we want Tacton to take this into consideration when we configure our product. And this could also potentially be something that Tacton retrieves directly from, say, a CRM system without me as a user needing to specify it. But this means that Tacton knows that the product is meant to be used in the US market and that it won't offer us any articles here that's not approved for usage in the US. So early in the process, we are eliminating the risk of selling the wrong things. Another function of Tacton's configurator is you can optimize your solution based on different criteria. So in this specific example, by default, we said that Tacton should always put a solution together based on price. But in this case, maybe we have a customer that prioritizes changeover times instead, so that machine can handle more patients in a day. So if I click on Optimize for changeover time, Tacton gives me a new set of articles that it knows fits this criteria the best. This could also be used to optimize for other things. Say I want a solution with the lowest running cost or the lowest CO2 footprint, for example. So with a click of a button, you're able to quickly shift your offer to what's most important to this specific customer and this specific product. So when we have put together all our needs and specify the framework of usage, we can look over the technical details of our machine. There are some features I would like to highlight here. And once again, it is how Tacton can easily guide a user through this process so that you can always be sure that you offer the right things, and how easy it can be for even a new user to learn about the product and how to configure it. So if I click yes on supporting HD here, you can see that the option for 3D is now highlighted. Tacton has noticed a potential conflict here and notified me of it. And if I go ahead and click yes here, because I want 3D after all, Tacton will say that there's conflict here between the choices I just made. So here it says that yes for 3D is incompatible with yes for HD. Do I want to change HD to no instead? I'm going to accept this suggestion. And Tacton automatically updates the solution and give me a product that it works based on the choices I made. So always sell a solution that works. And say I'm a new salesperson and still a bit unsure of what everything is. Tacton can really have to guide the user through this process and share knowledge inside the organization. I might not know what a suction and irrigation machine is, but I can hover over the section and get a handy little tooltip that tells me what it is. Or maybe I don't know what the difference really is between all these insufflation machines. I can just click on this little information icon and get launched in a more detailed view. We can put pictures and a lot more detailed description of what each of these machines actually does and when to use which one. So we get new users up to speed quicker. We can put more technical details in here to remove the need for salespeople to reach out to a product engineer or a product manager for help. So quotes can go out to customers faster. And again, less risk of selling the wrong things. One other thing Tacton can help with is to visualize the product that you're configuring. On the right side here, we can see a 3D model of our endoscope, and we can configure the look of it. So let's say the customer wants a tall and a wide cart in the color blue. We can select these, and the 3D model will automatically update to show us what a cart now looks like. And maybe we would like to have some drawers to one of the machines while we're at it. So it's a great way to visualize to the customer what they are actually being offered. Additionally, the configurator is not strictly limited to an actual physical product. We can also configure an additional services we want to offer in the same package. Such as installation. We have maintenance services. We can set our warranty. We can add an additional training services we offer. We can have a support agreement. And even some financing options. And it's not just one-time purchases either, but it also supports recurring monthly subscriptions. So when I'm happy with my product selection, I'm going to click Finish and Save. And as we will see, the product we just configured is now added to our line items, and our financial numbers was updated. So I can see my net price, I can see my margins, I can see my discount, and I can see the monthly subscription price for our services. I can also see the lowest margin that my user is allowed to offer before I need to apply for business approval from a manager. This is specified for each individual user, and in my case, I can go as low as 30%. So this might be a good segue to start talking about pricing. So you don't necessarily need a complex product model to be able to get a good use out of Tacton. It can also help if you have a complex pricing model. So you can run all your complex financial calculations in the background and in your product configuration and just present your user with a nice and easy to use interface. All of this to enable you to do your pricing work faster and to make sure you sell your products for the correct price. So to show this off, I can go into the pricing view. Here I can see the solution that I've just configured, broken down into its individual sections. And I can open up each one of these to show all the included articles. I can see the prices and margins for each individual articles, I can discount them individually if I want to. And any change here is automatically calculated and the prices are instantly updated. So I'm going to put in the total discount here of 50%. We can see the numbers update, and my total margin now go down to 15%, which is below the 30% approved margin I have. So I just want to show what happens now if I save this one. We can see that it's now a business approval flag lit up here at the top, prompting me to ask for business approval since it got below my lowest approved margin. So this is something I would need to get approved before I can continue in the process of creating an actual proposal. If I request an approval, I can send a message, submit it, and it would automatically go to a manager or someone that has permission to approve quotations with an even lower margin than what my user can. They get an email with a link that opens up this solution. They can look it over and either decide to approve or reject it. So in this way, you centralize the approval process to one flow instead of sending emails back and forth, hunting down information from different systems. So you're able to decrease your lead time to an approval so that you can be sure that you offer the right products for the right price, fast and easy. And speaking of fast and easy, let's finish this up by creating a proposal document that we can send to a customer. So we go into the Proposals tab and create a new proposal. Here we can decide what parts of the documentation we want to include in our finished proposal. In this case, I'm going to go with all of it and create a new document. And it will take a few seconds. So the way the document generator works is that we have created templates in the backend environment that automatically retrieves the relevant information from our solution, services, and pricing, and inserts it into our document. And here I have my finished proposal ready to download. And as you can see here, we can get a nice cover page with our solution name, today's date, and a customer name. We get a table of contents, an executive summary of the product that we just configured with our prices and pricing data and pricing conditions. They're like all nicely laid out without me having to do any extra work formatting any of this. We can also insert a 3D visualization of our product so the customer can see what they've ordered. We have a product specification, a breakdown of our services and installation. And since we have the 3D model of the product we just configured, Tacton can also give the customer the ability to view this product in augmented reality just using an iPad. And then we have our terms and conditions and any other information we would like to include in our offer. So it's all standardized. It will look the same every time, and no manual work is needed by a salesperson to put all this together. They just need a couple of seconds and a click of a button, and they will have a 32-page document put together and ready to be sent out to the customer. So as I finish this little demo up, there is something that I hope you will take with you when you leave today, that in the time I did this presentation for you, I configured a complex product, I priced it, and I got a complete proposal document ready for our customer in just 15 minutes. So as a salesperson, I could even have done this together with a customer at a sales meeting, and the customer could have had the offer in their hand at the end of it. So we just scratched the surface here and showed a little bit of what's possible to do with Tacton and how it can help enhance your business. So I hope you found this interesting and that it got you a little bit inspired of what's possible to do with CPQ and maybe how you could transform your own sales process. Thank you.
I love it. It's so cool. I mean, how long would that take if there was a manual process, right? I mean, not only the time, but also, how many, 32 pages, I think you said, right? All those potential errors that I could make if I would have to take that from different sources. That's really amazing. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yes, we do have, let me just see if we have some questions. We did have some questions that people submitted earlier. So maybe would you be okay? Do we have time, Patrick, to look at some of the questions?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so one of the things that people were asking is, and I think you touched on it actually, is Tacton able to connect to a CRM? And if so, what are some of the CRMs that they're using and working with?
Yeah, so Tacton is agnostic in that sense, and it works well with like all leading CRM systems. So that's not a problem at all to integrate it with whatever solution you have.
Okay, well, that's awesome. That's great to hear. And then the other question we saw is the layout, even though I liked it, but is there also an opportunity to change that user interface up a little bit to I don't know, maybe match your own company colors or those kind of things?
Yes, so you can make Tactile look like branded to your company with your logo, your colors. You can also change the a lot of layout in all these different windows to show exactly what you want to show and what works for your sales process. So that's, in that sense, it's highly customizable.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
If I could interject, I have 1 or 2 questions here that came up on my side here. One had to do with the front end. It says you had mentioned customer self-service. Can the interface be configured for customer self-service versus sales reps?
Yes, that's also possible with Tactile, that you can have a self-service interface that the customer can log into and configure their own products, to free up space for your sales engineers or salespeople so they don't have to do it, but the customer can do it themselves. And like download a drop quotation.
Yeah. I will add to that answer as well is, when we talk about integrations with CRM or ERP systems and so forth, that is where the partnership with Tacton and Sirocco comes in, where Tacton has the product and Sirocco helps with the services engagements, okay, to be able to, make this whole solution shine for you in the shortest amount of time, realizing the quickest, shortest time to return on investment.
Yeah.
Did you have another question there, Martin? I'm going through the list here.
It's just I have a question, right? Because I just like this so much. I haven't seen it in action before. So again, thank you so much, Patrick. But you're obviously part of Sirocco's team to actually do those implementations. Do you have like, I don't know, 2 minutes to just briefly outline what that looks like? Where do we start? What do we expect from our customers? What do they need to provide? Where does our work come in? And what kind of a timeline are we looking at? Again, for a simpler case.
Like a simple implementation of a product in Tactile then.
Yes.
Yeah, so what we would do with a customer, we will show some demos. We would like to know the customer's current process. Something we call a reverse demo. We make them show us how does it look right now. And then we do a workshop on, okay, how can we make Tactile fit this process? Or how can we make this process, change this process to work in Tactile? And maybe select a product or two. That's a good start to implement. Make a MVP, minimum viable product, that we can get up and running kind of quickly, just in a couple of weeks. But in general, I think they say a implementation maybe take 6 months or something like that.
Okay, that's amazing. I'm sure salespeople love that, right? I mean, this guided selling process, right? Especially, I think, Ras, you mentioned that, right? If you're a new rep, you're so busy trying to learn all the ins and outs of your product at your company. It's going to be quite tricky to really know those specifications. But here it looks like I don't actually have to know all that much in order to produce a great outcome and a great order for my customers. So that's
and
amazing.
to that point, even experienced reps, okay, with the ever evolving, changing, especially manufacturing, where there are new products, new offerings coming out, especially for some of our global manufacturing partners, okay, where there is, all different types of regions and things like that, with things changing all the time, even an experienced rep sometimes is challenged with making sure that the quotes are accurate and have all the nuances and new flavors of their solutions. So that's and I also wanted to point out as well, where Sirocco comes in as well, is that we see a lot of customers that have started with a quote CPQ solution of their own. Sometimes it's spreadsheets. Sometimes it's some kind of custom design that they made, and now they find that they want to get into a more robust and supported type of solution. Okay, maybe you're migrating from a lesser CPQ solution into one that, again, can handle more and more of your customer requirements. we do all that kind of work. That's why this partnership is such a strong one. And we've been very successful in the manufacturing field for that. One final question as well, and I want to be respectful of everyone's time. There was a question about the final quote. It says, can the quote document be integrated with DocuSign?
That's an excellent question. I don't have a specific answer for that question right now, but we can put that in the follow-up email if they want to hear.
Yeah. I think I've seen that being done, but again, what we're going to do as a follow-up to this meeting is, and I think that's a great transition for our next slide here, is here are some of the links that we will send out following this meeting. We will be emailing all of you who attended the slide deck. We also will include these links here, one being the link on our Sirocco website where you can actually register and be able to download the Gartner report that shows the latest and greatest standings of the CPQ landscape and where Tecton resides. You can also sign up for a one-on-one consultation with either myself directly or our team. Again, this is a global offering, okay, even though today's meeting was focused on the US, but we do have support staff around the world. And then you can also reach out to myself directly to ask some more questions. Anything that we did not answer on the webinar today, we can certainly follow up. And then we will also be announcing the winner of the Apple TV for the customers who joined the meeting. So we will make sure that that all goes out as well. So Martin, I think that's concludes where we are today. Any final thoughts?
Super. No, that's awesome. And like you said, right, there's always, I mean, this the way I see it, this is kind of a first step, right? It's a quick introduction for some of you into the world of CPQ. There's probably tons of questions, even if we're a little shy today about those questions. That's what we're here for, right? That's what our team is here for. You can reach out to us. You can reach out to Russ. You will find that information in your email, or you just go to siroccogroup.com and you can contact us. On siroccogroup.com, you can also find out more about CPQ in general, CRM. You know, maybe you want to involve us in your selection process, see what it is that you need for your own configuration of a CPQ tool, and we're happy to help you. But yeah, thank you so much. I think everyone, I know that I learned tons. Hopefully it's true for everyone else as well. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, especially you, Patrick and Russ, and talk to you soon.
A pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
Perfect.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.